Imagine inheriting 47 acres of pristine Montana land mineral rights, timber rights, and a century-old private access road included. Now imagine discovering an HOA president named Brenda has built a 36-home luxury subdivision on it, claims she grabbed it at a county tax sale and is charging $400 a month from every homeowner who drives over your private road like an S. When I presented her with my deed, she smiled at me and advised me to seek a real lawyer. That was when I knew that this wasn't a miscommunication. It was an heist. I'm Jake Mitchell, a 34-year-old electrician from Billings. Prior to this debacle, I had a modest cabin and perhaps an electrical contracting firm in my future plans. The property inherited since 1923 was my opportunity to establish a life. As Grandpa Henry used to tell me, this dirt's worth more than gold if you smart enough to hold on to it. My inheritance even comprised a private gravel road, 2 trucks. Why that? Terminated at the county highway. Legal. Kept up for decades. Hours. 3 months following the funeral, I headed out to visit my property as its new owner. That's when I was hit with reality. Whitefish Meadows, a gated subdivision of 36 beige homes. A stone entrance and shiny street signs covering what I knew to be my land. And all those residents were taking advantage of my private road. 72 vehicles in one morning. When I went to confront Brenda at her giant colonial, she just laughed and said she'd purchased everything at a tax sale. Issue is, I had every receipt indicating Grandpa's taxes were paid in full until 2023. 2 days later, I retained Cassandra Webb, a real estate lawyer who handles the law like a toolbox. In 48 hours, she assured me there never was a tax sale. A county clerk had signed false documents. Trespass was just the beginning. This was fraud. We delivered Brenda a certified letter. She ripped it up on her porch and initiated a smear campaign, portraying me as a squatter and advising residents to call police if they spotted me on HOA property. Then she put in a spiked iron gate knot at her gate, but across my road at the highway intersection. By doing so, she inadvertently confirmed that the road was private, not public. That gate turned out to be our smoking gun. As I snapped the illegal gate, a young mother, Sarah Smith of House 23, pulled up in a stroller. When I told her the reality, her face dropped. She and her husband had invested their life savings in a house that could be on stolen ground. That lingered with me. These were not bad guys. They were victims, too. Brenda hired private security to stand by my gate, gunned up, and sent a cease and desist letter by a paralegal cousin. Then she went around by email to nearby employers, threatening them with a violent squatter in their midst. At the courthouse, I discovered a greater issue for Brenda. Missing permits. No environmental reports. No septic permits. And most incriminating for an electrician, no electric inspection certificates. Those homes were technically condemnable. When I brought Sarah, she showed me flickering outlets and additional legal defense. Charges Brenda had been collecting $200 a month from each family on top of the $400 HOA fee. This wasn't management. It was a racket. Brenda attempted an ambush with a photog and witnesses in hopes of branding me as a stalker. What I did was give the reporter my deed, pictures of the illegal gate, and proof of unauthorized building. Sarah found her voice as well. She informed the media Brenda's HOA was not even registered with the state. Another neighbor, David, an accountant, called for the books. Brenda had no single legitimate document. The Whitefish Gazette ran a front page. Then came the call from the reporter, Marcus Webb, with a bombshell. Brenda had used this scam in several counties. The tax sale clerk was her brother-in-law. They'd forged documents, swindled land, and bilked hundreds of families. That's when Special Agent Lisa Martinez with the FBI came knocking on my door. Their investigation spanned for states' mail fraud, wire fraud, conspiracy. They wanted me to wear a wire? Acting out the role of a vanquished man, I questioned Brenda about how she did it. She boasted. She identified the clerk. She detailed the shell corporations, the campaign contributions, the failed inspections, and the foreign accounts. Then she darkened, saying that accidents befall individuals who don't resign. The FBI now had her on bribery, fraud, and threatening crimes. The same week, David was kidnapped by impersonating officers. Marcus's newsroom was firebombed. Someone had desecrated my grandfather's grave. It was a mess until a retired guard informed us of where David was being held. The FBI relocated. We required a conclusion that concluded this publicly and for good. Agent Martinez organized a phony emergency town hall. 200 citizens filled the community center. Brenda sauntered in to twirl her tail only to run into the FBI. She was taken into custody on the spot. David entered securely. Search warrants froze the offshore accounts. As the room held its collective breath, I got up with Grandpa's deed and made my choice. I would give the full 47 acres to a new Whitefish Community Land Trust so that every family that purchased in good faith could have clear title for just what they paid. The room erupted in applause. Brenda cracked. She admitted. On record. Prosecutors dismantled the ring, 25 years for Brenda, 24 the clerk, and federal cases for the others. The FBI recovered $80 million for victims in 4 states. The Colorado veteran recovered his ranch. The Wyoming family won triple damages. The Idaho couple's mineral rights were restored. I built a cabin on Grandpa's site. The land trust was a model for affordable housing in Montana. Sarah became the official first HOA president. David manages transparent finances. Marcus restored his paper and was nominated for a Pulitzer for his series, The Land Thieves. Chuck, the former guard, now guards the community he used to bully. Our scholarship fund teaches young adults the trades and skills that construct communities rather than plunder them. Standing on that porch at sunrise, I finally understood Grandpa's lesson. Land is worth more than gold when it serves people, not greed. If you've lived through an HOA horror story, fraud, abuse of power, or petty tyranny, share it in the comments. Your experience might help someone spot the warning signs. And if Just to Serve stories like this resonate with you, hit subscribe. There are additional Brendas waiting, more threatened communities, and more truth in need of a strong, clear voice. Thanks for watching.